welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. You see those guns in the background. We're going to go all the way to Colorado, and we're going to talk about some wrestling. I know we all grew up with our favorite wrestlers and stuff. I think my favorite wrestler, I'm going to show my age a little bit. I like I like Ted DiBiase. I love the Million Dollar Man for some reason. It was just like the working man type. Then I also like Sid Vicious. I liked I can't think of the tag team, the Barbarian Brothers at one time, but wrestling is cool. Yeah, wrestling is cool, but imagine yourself, and I know he's getting ready to trip out on this. Imagine how you got to wrestling. How about if it started with going into the MMA ring as a partner, sparring partner, who later said, "You can be a great wrestler." Without further ado, let's introduce this man with his belt, the one, the only, Mr. Bruce Wayans. What's up, Bruce?
Hey, it's a final boss. Bruce Wayans. What's up, Mr. Beast? How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you for taking time out to come on the show. So before we get into that belt and your journey, because you play football, you done all kind of athletic stuff and succeeded at it. And succeeded at it. That's one good thing. But tell the viewers a little bit about you before we get started.
All right. Well, final boss Bruce Wayans, Denver, Colorado native, Montbello High School, University of Nebraska at Kearney, the Loper gang, 13 years of arena football, 4 years of fighting MMA, and I believe 7 years now as a professional wrestler. Basically, I like to call it TNA,
Uh-huh.
total nonstop action.
You know what? I like that. I clearly like that name. Total nuns. I'm gonna use that one day. So you was born and raised in Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado native, man. When they announced me to the ring, they say from the 5280, and that
What?
means 5,280 feet, mile high,
Wow.
mile high. Hit.
What's it like there? I never been to Colorado. I used to hear stories about even during football. They was like, if you come from somewhere else and you come into the Mile High area, you at a disadvantage because of the altitude that you guys are. All right, what was it like for you as an athlete with that? Because to me, that's an advantage over somebody else. Was it an advantage for you?
It is a hardcore advantage, sir. Like, and yes, and any athletes out there traveling in Colorado, as soon as you get off the plane or the bus or the car, you need to run. You need to hop out and run and acclimate your lungs to the thin air in Colorado because it's just something you're not used to. On the flip side, I am completely used to it. I'll be fine.
Really? What was it like for you, like growing up in Colorado? You were born and raised there. You were a champion athlete there. How did all that come about?
Oh man, so the neighborhood I'm from is called Montbello, right? And when I was growing up, it was a neighborhood like what do you call it? Takes a village, takes a village to raise a child, and
Right.
even I want to say even last night I ran into a group of friends that grew up with, hadn't seen in years, and our philosophy is Montbello is going to take over the world because the neighborhood that I was brought up in, it was definitely a no nonsense. It had a reputation for being Mont Ghetto, as they call it around here. But
Mhm.
for most of us that have traveled, you know that there is no such thing as a ghetto in Denver, Colorado.
I was getting ready to
It's
say that.
not.
I've never seen anything. You know what else, Bruce? I've never heard of any gang violence, murders, outrageous murders, or anything related negative with black culture in Colorado. I could be wrong,
No,
but I've never
no,
heard of
because
anything negative about it.
that's just a numbers game, man. Because the term minority,
Right,
it refers to the 12%, man. That's us,
right.
the brown.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't but 12% of us in the country, period.
Mm,
But most black people are in the South,
right.
So when you get out here to the west, or the Midwest, Northwest, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, our numbers are down.
Right. Right.
So you won't hear about any big time stories from the minorities out here because there's simply not enough of us.
Mm-hmm.
At the flip side, the the majority, as I like to call them,
Right.
the majority causes all those problems out here. The majority does all the shootings in Colorado. So
Really.
yeah, I mean, I talked about it yesterday actually, where I said, how if you go to Manual High School out here or any of the like the black high schools out here, they got metal detectors to get into to the school to get into the basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that at the rich schools. They don't have that at the Columbine.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, it
Right.
should.
Let me ask you a question. What was the disadvantages for you growing up there? I don't see any bad things, but were there disadvantages because the numbers aren't big? You,
Well, see, my neighborhood was predominantly black when I was growing up. Now it's predominantly Latino. Now
wow.
that I moved back, but the disadvantages of growing up here, they're few and far between because, as an athlete, my body's stronger.
Mm-hmm.
My lungs are have a higher capacity. Um, uh, just the location in general.
Mm-hmm.
Denver International Airport's been here, I don't know, this, for at least 20, 30 years now. And it's a hub. So like I have access to the whole country from here. The disadvantage of living in Colorado is uh, people always ask you, are there black people in Colorado? Some. There's some. There's me. There's me. There's Alan. Atiba, my tag team partner, Atiba,
Yeah.
Marlon.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but uh, I want to say, as far as the local population goes, Denver. I tell people there's a lot better places in Denver. There's a few better places in Denver. There's San Diego and Miami.
Right. Right.
There's some real cool places out there, but there's
Right.
a lot worse.
Right.
You could
Right.
do a lot worse than Denver, Colorado.
Now, did you grow up in a household with both your parents, a strong family bond?
I grew up with my mom, but my dad was around. My dad was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's a nurse.
Right.
They got divorced when I was about 4 years old, but I always had both parents available to me.
Okay.
My older brother, I have two older brothers in Kansas City, Marcus and Andre. Shout out to Marcus and Andre. I remember they told me something good. They said, "Man, they said you had a lot more daddy than we ever did because my dad married my mom, and so and actually my brothers were with us at the time, and we were all together. But then my dad stayed here to kind of help raise me,
Right.
whereas my brothers they got like a younger version of my dad, prior to preaching. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
They got the
their
wild
experience
side. They
with
got the
him was a
wild
lot
side.
different from mine.
They probably got the wild side when you're young
Oh
and
yeah, they got the where he used to work at. He used to work for the railroad.
oh.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, they got what I call the wild side. So let's
Right.
your journey into sports started about what age? When did you start to really get involved in sports?
Oh, right away. Right away. I want to say around the same time, around 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was already. My brothers were playing football. My oldest brother Andre also went to Montbello High School, and my older brother Marcus, he was a stud athlete himself. He was set to go to the NFL at 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched them, I just knew that like I was like, oh well, I'm gonna do that, but better,
Right.
because I'm younger, faster, stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and I have them to learn from.
Did you learn from them? Did they give you assistance in shaping who you are today?
You know what? They inadvertently they did because me and my older brothers we have a large age gap. So I want to say they're both. I think they're both between like 13 and 16 years older than me.
Right.
So when they were in high school, I was a kid.
Okay.
But by the time I got to college, I linked back up with them as an adult when I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was crazy that we had lived very, very similar lives without direct communication. We just there was something about us, like, and we all looked the same, we talked the same.
Mhm.
Actually, they talk like they're from Kansas City, so I can't say I talk like them. But yeah, it was like it was genetic. I want to say I'll give it to my dad. Donald Clark Poole did this. My
Right.
dad put the genes in us, and we ran with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you wind up getting an offer to go uh, to college. Were you an outstanding athlete? Did you get a full ride? Like, how was that transition?
I got as close to a full ride as you can get for a Division II school.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, football paid for most everything, and I had a minority scholarship and an academic scholarship to cover the rest.
Hmm.
So I didn't have to pay for college for sure. Um, and what do you call it? Like just going to Montbello High School out here, we as a school had the most student athletes signed to scholarships to go to college in 1 year at the time, like 2001, showing my age now. But yeah, I think 13 people, 13 seniors from just my football team signed scholarships to go to college, in addition to the track team, the volleyball team, like all the women athletes at my school. Like Montbello was like a De La Salle for Colorado. We were cranking out athletes left and right.
Not only athletes, but scholars too.
Yeah, yeah, all scholars on top of that. Yeah, and that was the best part because we had coaches, we had adults in charge of us that refused to let us skid by. Like
Mm.
you had to have good grades. You had to be a top performing athlete. You had to be at practice on time. You had to work hard because if you didn't, they would not. They would not push you.
Mm.
They wouldn't. They like it. I say the term is called. My college coach told me it's called shit can mentally. So when the coach stops yelling at you, he is giving up on you.
Yeah,
And my coaches used to scream at me.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's funny you said that because I haven't heard that in a while. Because even when I was playing, um, we used that same phrase, so to speak. If the coaches wasn't yelling at you or saying something to you, they didn't. They wasn't invested in you.
and yeah, if they stop yelling at you, they're
Yeah.
done with you. If they didn't told you how to do it, and you ain't doing it. And the worst part, best part is once you show them you can do it, they
Right.
expect you to be able to do it.
All the
And
time.
so there's no excuses at that point. You got to produce. There, it's a result based business industry, whatever you want to call it. And
Right.
they get their credibility based off of your results. So they want to push you for results.
You wind up having a great career going to, I believe, the Arena Football League and probably some other leagues because you know your resume is pretty deep. What were you? What was your weaknesses? Because when we look at athletes like ourselves, people always say, and you use the word genetics. I believe genetics is a key to some degree. But what you also got to realize is you can have the genetics, you can have the talent, but you're not the only one. There's other people that's got the same thing that you do. So
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm talking about as an athlete. People say, "Oh, well, you an
There's,
athlete. This was an easy transition." No, it wasn't an easy transition. So what were some
no,
of the
there's
obstacles?
other beasts out there.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you
know,
you got it right. There's other beasts.
there's other beasts out there, and those other beasts they might be genetically more gifted than you. They might have more experience than you. They might have their dad might be the coach. They might have been at it longer than you.
Right.
But most importantly, it all is going to come down to hard work at the end of the day. And not even just hard work. So like what my when I was in middle school and high school,
Hmm.
I would say my only weakness would be like mental toughness. And luckily, my dad got a hold of me right away because I used to run. You got to run around the park in Little League
Yeah.
football. I used to be last, and my dad came to practice one day and he saw me in the back. And practice was over. He said, Told the coach, don't worry about it, I'll take care of him. Next
What?
day, he had me at the park boy running. And all he told me was, he said, you just don't think you can keep going, but you'll be all right. So
Yeah.
keep going. And he made me. He made me keep going. He was right behind me, pushing me. And eventually I got that second win.
Right.
And I felt it. And I thought, oh, okay, okay. I can do this. I can do this. And then when I got to college, my coach, his name was Daryl Morris, he used to preach mental toughness.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind it was very simple, was number one, you need to be you need to do the do right rule. Be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And the second thing was, like, if I'm asking you to do it, you can do it.
Mm.
Don't stop and ask me, are you sure?
Right.
If I told you to do it,
Do it.
I'm trusting in you that you know how to do it and that you're capable of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to perform at the level that I expect,
Mm.
because I wouldn't even bother me asking you if you couldn't do it.
I think the biggest thing that I remember was our coach, Coach Hugh Hicks, said he played with Kansas City, and I believe the Cowboys. I know he played with Kansas City, and he
Mm-hmm.
told me, I said I can't, and he said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go home and find it. Tell me what that means in the dictionary. I came back and said I can't find it. He said they'll never use it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
Hey,
know
that was
what?
good.
You know what, Bruce? And to this day, I don't use that word. I don't use that word. But
I don't use that word either, sir.
let's go
There's
back.
no camp.
Let's go back a minute.
I,
Let's go back a minute. You mentioned something that I thought was really profound. You had coaches on the field, but I like what you
mm,
said with this phrase. The coach saw your dad or something like that, and your dad said, "I handle that," and
yeah,
it changed your whole trajectory. How
yeah.
many? How many? How did that really impact you? Because we see a lot of men of color, just men in general. We won't say color, just men in general. They don't
Right.
have that spark of that father figure. Even though he wasn't in the household, he came out and gave you that one inspirational word. How did that affect you moving forward?
It was an eye opener. So how it affected me was, prior to him doing that, I thought I thought I was supposed to be in the back because I was the big guy. I thought that I couldn't sustain, running and cardio and stuff like that, because I was tired, or my legs were weak, or I was sore, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was he opened my eyes to, oh, you can do whatever you want to do, but that desire, if you don't have that, if you don't have that desire to be successful at whatever it is you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
you yourself are the reason why you're not successful, because your mental state is that of, I don't think I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my dad gave me. He gave me that clarity that, oh, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I, my dad basically taught me in that one day at the park, at Falcon Park out here. He taught me that I'm a beast. I'm a beast, and I'm a be successful
Right.
at whatever it is I want to do. As long as I pick something and I want to do that, and my desire is there,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the success will come just based off of that belief.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have that belief, that's when the hard work comes in. But that's when you find out that, is it work,
Right.
or is it, yeah, or is it, is it means to accomplish the goal.
Right. And I think a lot of people get confused with that phrase. You know, I hear a lot of people say, "Man, you work a lot." I don't call it work. It's a mission to go, like you said,
Yeah,
to the next
like that.
step. You know what I mean? So it's not
Yeah,
work. Work is doing, to me, you know what work is, Bruce? Work is repeating the same bullshit and not going anywhere.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So let's move
yeah.
forward with your career. You wind up playing a little bit of professional football. How did that
Okay.
opportunity happen? And take me down that career with you.
Oh man, it's a terrible story. I'd love to share it with you. All
Love to
right, this
hear
what
it.
happened. I late my senior year of high school or senior year of college, right?
Yeah.
Just won the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference championship, Division II championship, and I get a call from a coach in Charleston, South Carolina, and he's like, "Man, I need you to come down here, play on my team, on my arena team. It's a startup team. It's called the Charleston Sand Sharks, and I'm gonna get you a car, got a house for you to live in, uh, you know, $400 a game, plus I get you a side job. All you got to do is work out and play football." I'm like,
Wow.
"What's the catch?" And he said, "I need you down here next month." Right at the time, I got a baby on the way, right?
Wow.
My only child,
Okay.
baby on the way, senior year of high school, senior year of college, and I leave school early to go to Charleston. I have not got my bachelor's degree yet. I'm gonna get that probably by the end of this year.
Okay.
But I leave school early. I get down to Charleston. The first night I'm in Charleston, this guy gets murdered in front of my hotel room.
What?
I wake up to 12 police cars outside. Guy sitting in the car, head on the steering wheel. Police asked me if I heard anything. I don't know nothing. I'm blind. And then I just
Yeah.
got here. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And then I go to the lobby of the hotel, and it says, I'm not gonna use his name, but it says your coach has been fired. And guy had kidnapped his girlfriend or something crazy. I don't know.
What?
But anyway, long story short, they're bringing a coach from the Citadel, and I have to make this team.
Right.
If I don't make this team, I'm stuck in South Carolina because I don't have a dollar to my name.
Right.
It turns out that you live in this hotel. It is $200 a game, taxed $186 after tax. There is no side job. There is no car. There is nothing
Wow.
but you and your faith. And I used to talk to my dad a lot back then, and he said, "Son," he said, "you're in a terrible situation, but I'm sure you'll find your faith while you're out there." And boy, he was not lying.
Wow.
And I think I prayed my way out of there.
How
And
did you
about the
get How did
fourth
you get out?
game,
How did you get out of
about
it?
about the fourth game, I was out there. So I went through all mini camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Started the season with that team. About the fourth game, my buddy called me. He's in Omaha, and he played for my team in Kearney, and he had blew out his knee in the first game.
Right.
Now we at the fourth game, and he said, "Man, if you don't like it down there, I can get you on the team in Omaha." And so I had a weekend that went like this. On Thursday, I was on the bus in South Carolina. We went to Greensboro, played the team out there. Sunday, I'm on a plane. Monday, I'm back in Denver. Tuesday, I'm in the car. Wednesday, I'm in Omaha. Thursday, I'm on the bus with Omaha, going to uh, North Dakota. And that Saturday, I played a game for the Omaha Beef.
Wow.
So in a 1 week span, I went from Charleston to Denver to Omaha to Sioux Falls, North Dakota.
That's crazy. So let's
Yeah,
go.
it was a wild time.
Let's go back a minute. So when you get there, the guy that's supposed to be your coach he got
Fire,
arrested?
fire, gone.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's what I said. But I was, I had everything I owned in that hotel room. Every item to my name, because I was a college kid. I didn't have a lot, and everything I owned, everything in my life was in that hotel room, and it was not the best of hotel rooms. I think I lived off the Waffle House for 4 months straight. That's all I could afford.
Wow. That's crazy. I bet you was doing some praying.
Man, let me tell you, and the Charleston boys out there, the locals, they did their best to take care of me, man, but they speak Geechee, so I can't even understand what they saying for the
What's
most
Geechee?
part.
I don't even know what Geechee is.
But I still don't know what it is. I just know that I can only talk to them like face to face. If I hear them over the phone, I can't understand a word. Just come talk to me face to face because I can't understand you.
How much of an emotional you know you're in college. This guy sold you a pipe dream, And it's funny, my dad probably would have told me the same thing. Hey, son, I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what? To some people, they might say that's kind of harsh. Your dad should have helped you out, but hey, I remember my dad telling me one time. This is no lie, Bruce. I bought a Porsche 968,
Okay.
and the car had just came out, and I went to my dad for gas money, right? And he said, "How much you pay for that car?" And I told him. He said, "You can't afford gas."
Right.
And he was
Not
like,
now.
"This is what he did. He gave me $30, and he said, "This is your last $30 I'm ever give you, because if you can afford to buy that, you can afford to buy gas." From that moment on, it kind of like did what your dad did. It woke me up to
Yeah.
understand the value of money and a depreciable asset. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My whole thing changed. So I get it. Other people would look at this story and say, well, your dad or your mom should have got you out of that situation. How hard was it for you to really ponder what had just happened to you? This was your dream right now.
Yeah.
And this
You
dude's in
know,
jail.
I in when I was in the situation itself, um, I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah.
Only thing I knew was don't let off the gas. That's all I knew. All I knew was is I cannot for any reason afford to give up right now. Like right now would have been a prime time to quit. Be like,
Right.
all right, this ain't it. Let me try to go back to school. Let me try to let me try to backtrack. And that thought never entered my mind. I just knew I could not let off the gas. I said, if worst case scenario,
Mm-hmm.
if I did everything I could possibly do and I didn't make that team and I'm stuck in South Carolina, then so be it. But I wasn't going to rest. I wasn't going to rest on that. I wasn't going to rest until I had put that effort forward because I knew my situation.
Right.
I knew I was screwed. I was up shit's creek, and I'm in a place I ain't never been. I don't know nobody. I don't have no friends. I don't have no family.
Right.
There's nobody to call. There's no help coming.
Right.
So it's all on me. And when I realized it was all on me, hey, I tell these people this all the time. If you want something done right, there is but one way to do it.
Right.
And you got to do it yourself.
How come you didn't
And I
call
knew
your
at that
how come you
time I
didn't call
couldn't
your
look for
brothers,
help for
Bruce?
anybody else.
Didn't mean to cut you off. Why didn't you call your brothers?
Oh man, they be out, man, because Marcus and Andre are the older versions of me. So I called them and let them know the situation,
Right.
and they told me verbatim. They said you're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. They said make the team and call me back. Matter of fact, when I made it to Omaha,
Right.
they came to the game. Like probably my third week in Omaha, they came up from Kansas City, came to the game.
So now
And they came in and they said, man, we knew you was gonna be all right. You look terrible, but we knew you was gonna be all right.
look, is that what you
Like
want to hear? You look terrible.
my oh yeah, man, my hair was growing out. It was looking bad. I quit shaving.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the edge. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was looking bleak.
The dude, I don't mean to focus on your boy, but what did you ever find out about him later? Uh, did he get out of
Yeah, I mean,
jail?
I ain't gonna throw the man under the bus, but
Right.
his situation was he was selling dreams.
Okay.
And when I got to Charleston, I met the owners of the team. They told me flat out everything that man told you was a lie.
Wow.
Everything he told you was a lie. We ain't offering you none of that. Here's what we're offering you, and like that's it. Like there aren't any other options. So you get to take this or nah, but that's all we have to offer you. You can make this 200 a game, and you can live in this hotel.
The tripped out part is this. Think about this. The universe has a way of doing something to make stuff right or wrong or to make you learn from what just happened. But just think of it like this, Bruce. What if he had not gotten locked up? Where would he had to put you? You know what I'm saying? You ever thought about that? Like, what was his end game?
Yeah, what you know what? That is a great question, Beast. Because what I never thought about that.
What if?
What would things have been? You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. The reason why I've never thought about it is simply because like my mind doesn't do that. My mind doesn't think about, okay, if the scenario was different, what would things have been like then?
Yeah,
Versus I'm like I said, I'm all gas. So I'm always moving forward.
right.
Always moving forward. So the thought of, what if Coach So and so was there?
Yeah.
I never gave it a second thought, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
because that's
Only
kind of
because
that's kind of crazy because okay, this happens like really quick. I say I would probably
I-
estimate in real time within 24 hours, and
man,
he's
I'm 22 years old when this
yeah,
happened.
yeah. Like what was his end game with you there? Like that's something to
Um,
really think about.
so what he had told me was he was from okay, yeah, I'll let people piece it together they want. He was from Hinckley High School out here in Denver.
Okay,
He told me he had kept tracking me from Montbello, Kearney to then, and he was like, "Man, you'd be the perfect center for my team. I just really need you out here, and I've been keeping track of you this whole time." And but most importantly, he knew that I had just finished my last year eligibility for college, so I couldn't play any more college football.
mm-hmm.
So by him pulling me out of school, um, if I wanted, if I let's say, for example, if I wanted to run track or play baseball or basketball, I couldn't do any of that
Right,
because I accepted this offer to be a pro athlete.
right,
But he knew that, so basically he took my last bit of eligibility to put me in a situation where I couldn't leave.
right.
The worst part was third week of the season, the Citadel sends us 20 brand new players just graduated,
Mm.
and I said, was that an option? Could I have just stayed in school and graduated and then joined the team?
Yeah,
Because nobody told 22-year-old me this.
right, right,
I'm living in this hotel and these cats just graduated, right? They in the same class as me,
right,
but now all of them got their bachelors and they got the opportunity to make the team. I'm I had to make the team just to survive
right,
alone. And yeah, I never thought about what his plan was because whatever his plan was destined for failure.
right.
And most importantly, thank goodness that the portion of that plan that involved me got immediately erased when he got fired.
That's a good
Because,
way. Yeah.
in hindsight, I don't want to be a part of that plan, whatever it would have been.
So evidently the owners knew him or knew of him.
The owners knew. The owners knew, and they kept one of the coaches on. That was a good friend of mine, and they let him go when the Citadel coach came in. But the owners the owners the owners were basically along the lines of this was an experienced coach that could produce results for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up doing what they should have did in the first place, which is bring in all new people,
Right.
start from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
build it up, and then you'll get your success. They wanted that instant success that always backfires, and
Mm-hmm.
this one backfired in my face, and I had nothing to do with it.
Once you overcame all that, you walked away from football. Why did you walk away?
I was about 27 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I had just gotten cut from the Broncos, and some of my friends were actually in the draft that year. I can't remember what year it was, but what I realized was if I'm not in the NFL already,
Right.
and I'm 27,
Right.
and there's a new group of
Fresh young bucks.
20-year-olds, that's right, 19, 20 year
Yeah.
olds, and they just as hungry as I was, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just realized, like, I definitely realized that my window to get into the NFL had passed.
Right.
I had maxed out everything I could do in arena football, and it was actually I just noticed that my work ethic had gone down a smidge,
Right.
whereas I would normally work out the whole year, but then I was just starting to work out for the season,
Right.
right? And then when the season would hit, I would just work out, just to stay in shape for the season, but I wasn't actually on my schedule that got me to where I was in the first place.
So you started
And
to
so when I
basically
realized that,
started.
I was like, you know what? Let me just leave it up to the young bucks
Yeah.
and bow out gracefully before I get hurt. And thank goodness,
Right.
never got hurt. And when I was done playing football, I'll admit I was completely lost for a good 6 months there.
I was getting
Thank
ready.
goodness my
I was getting
buddy,
ready to
I got
say
a
that.
friend out here named D. Ross, put me in the fight game.
Let me go back a minute. I was getting ready to say that because retirement or leaving a particular sport is very difficult when you have that beast mindset. And I'm even speaking for myself to walk away from.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Well, why did you walk away from bodybuilding?" I was kind of like you. I was like, I'm kind of tired of it. What started out as working out every day, you know, that what you call it, that window of opportunity. I
Yeah.
knew I wasn't going to make money in the age of 30 and 40. I wasn't going to
Right.
use performance enhancements that could later. We saw Ronnie Coleman. We see what's happening here.
Hey, man.
I didn't want that kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let me go back to my question to you with that. It was difficult for me to close that window. It took time. Did I go through moments of depression? Yeah, because I still love the sport. But to go back to
Right.
what I was saying about you, we both have that beast mindset, but that toughness and that mindset to keep going. How
Yeah.
was you able to close that window of football gracefully and say, it's time for the Young Bucks to go on?
Well, number one, it was it was a big time realization when, you know, some of my friends' younger siblings were as big, if not bigger than me, and they were getting the opportunities that I was once allotted. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm still in this game, competing against, you know, what used to be kids to me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll admit there was definitely some depression that went into that because, like you said, what it is for me it was the same as you, like your bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is the same idea. Like, gimmick is what we call it in wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, that mental mindset is every day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, football is life.
Right.
So now that I'm not playing football, what is life? What do I do now?
Right.
I still get up, I still eat, I still drink, but what am I doing? Why am I doing it?
Right.
Where's my goal? Because I've had this one goal
Mm-hmm.
for all these years. Now it's gone. Now I don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what happened to me was, my buddy got me into fighting, and when he got me into fighting, it was at Bobby Lashley's gym, and I also love pro wrestling, so it all kind of blended well together. And um, I don't like getting punched in the face, to be honest with you. So the
Okay.
transition from fighting to wrestling was a no-brainer.
Wait a minute, Bruce. That's not what Alan said.
Hey, listen,
What about the
let me
two?
tell you what Alan said.
What about the two?
Alan said, Alan giving out details about my life, right? First of all, okay, it's a tooth mission right here, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that tooth was knocked smooth out my first day of boxing. I didn't have mouth teeth in. That was my fault.
Okay.
And it's one of them things where, especially when you're an athlete, you know, you think you know how to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until you go to the gym.
Right.
When you go to the gym, you're gonna find out there is a line that you should not be on. You know, you got to stay off of this line if you don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know about that. You a street fighter. You don't know nothing. You don't know keep your hands up.
Yeah.
You throwing punches like this. You know, but
Yeah.
you gonna get lit up in there with the guy whose dad is the boxing coach, and he's been the Golden Gloves since he was 13 years old.
Yeah,
you in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble. It's a knockout, easy.
Easy. Yeah, I went to the bathroom and spit my tooth out.
Wow.
That's what happened.
So then you wind up switching professions. So how did that wind up with the wrestling? So you get into the wrestling. How did that door even open up? Because you just didn't go from wanting to do the MMA and boxing right into wrestling. How did that
Yeah.
opportunity happen for
So
you?
what it was I saw the poster for Rocky Mountain Pro. Um, I went and saw Dave Chappelle that night, and then I went straight down the block to a wrestling show.
Hmm.
At the wrestling show, I won a raffle to have a drink with the then champion. He told me just to come down to the gym, check it out. I go to the gym. I meet this guy out here named is Mercury Yaten,
Hmm.
like one of the best coaches you can find for wrestling. And man, the rest was history. As soon as I got in that ring, first thing I did, put my mouthpiece in. Lesson learned. And yeah, man. I mean, as soon as I got into it, I knew this was made for me,
Really?
100%.
So you just got the glow. You was just like, this is
Yeah,
this is it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That
Like
euphoria.
Bruce Leroy, like Soul Brother #1.
So what did you have to what attributes outside of the mental discipline did you have to bring over from football to a little bit of MMA over into wrestling? Because wrestling is close hand to hand combat pretty
Right?
much. It's almost like jujitsu or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's a scrap. We actually just wrestled at a jiu-jitsu tournament last week. It's called Mat Wars. Mat Wars 3. It's a
Mm-hmm.
full-on jiu-jitsu tournament, and they just have us. They have us wrestlers there to keep it, a little more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But what I brought into it was I approached wrestling and fighting like it was football.
Okay.
So when I first started wrestling, me and Atiba and Lipto, we were doing 2 a days.
What does
We'd
that
be in
mean?
there at noon.
What does
We'd be
that
in there
mean?
at noon. We'd be back at 5, and we do like full day workouts because we just had that mindset of we have the talent, but we're gonna have to put all this work in to be good enough to ever be on TV.
Mm.
And like I said, and the way I approached it like it was football mini camp.
Mm.
I was back in the gym 5 days a week. I was wrestling 4 days a week. I was putting up rings, taking down rings. Basically anything they asked of me. I was a green young boy, and I was older than all of them.
Right. How hard is it to learn the art and perfect your craft? Because we're going to talk about this before we wrap up. You got that
Yeah.
belt in front of you. How long did it take to get that belt? And how long did it take to master your craft? Because to get that belt, you had to, I can tell the mindset because I already talked to Alan, so I already know your mindset. The two a
Yeah,
days, I know about the two a days and the three a days and the work you put in there.
exactly.
But this isn't football. How long did it take to master this craft to get that belt?
Let me explain like this. My rookie year of wrestling, um, I met this guy. His name was Severino Corrente, and he was really good. He was really good. I thought he'd been wrestling for 10, maybe 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Atiba, my tag partner, we asked him one day, "Hey man, how long have you been doing this?" He said, "A year." And we both looked at each other like, "What? Like you're this good?
Mm-hmm.
And you only been doing it for a year?" And he was like, "Man, either you bust your ass or you get your ass out of here." And
Wow.
bro, as soon as he said that, the light went off.
Mm.
And we stepped up, we right back on the gas, bro. We stepped on that gas full throttle. From April to October, we went from not having a match to being in the main event of the pay-per-view. And what it was we saw that it was possible to be that good right away
Mm-hmm.
if you put the work in.
Mm.
And it took it serious because there were people there. You always meet wrestlers that say, "Oh, I've been wrestling for 20 years,"
Mm-hmm.
and they're trash. And then other people you'll meet and they've been wrestling for 2 years and they're really good. And the difference is always hard work.
Mm.
Period. It had nothing to do with athletic ability, where you're from, what your background is. None of that matters. All that matters is did you bust your ass to do this thing that I love doing? Because if you don't, this is the hard work. This is the hard work because you don't ask for these.
Right.
A promoter will put one of these on you because he believes that you're the guy that's going to make his promotion more popular, going to get more people to come see the show based off of you how you act and how you represent the brand,
Mm-hmm.
that he's putting his brand on you, and you now represent not only yourself, but you represent a whole company of wrestlers. And according to this, you're the best one there. So you
Right.
better be the best one there.
So Bruce, what's gonna happen when my legs heal and I come to take the belt from you?
And Beast, I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? And I'm gonna say this with love, okay? I'll mop the floor with you, man. But it's nothing personal, okay? It's just that you got more beard than I do, and I'm jealous. So if you want this and I can't have that,
Yeah.
well then you can't have this. But somebody gotta clean this floor.
Oh, okay. So I got to clean the floor.
No. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna clean the floor, but I'm gonna use your body to
Oh
mop the
shit.
floor.
Okay.
I'm gonna mop the floor with you.
I believe it too. I believe it. Let me ask a question real quick. We know in certain sports there's a lot of political stuff going on. And I
Yeah.
get it with the brand. I've been through it in bodybuilding, it exists. But I don't know that much about wrestling. How much of it is politics?
I ain't gonna lie to you, it's big time politics. Me personally, I don't involve myself in any of it. Everything I've accomplished in wrestling is off of pure merit and hard work.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of politicians in it, and because wrestling is very simple. It's like there's a show today,
Mm-hmm.
and at the show today, it's gonna be Bruce Wayans versus Mr. Beast. Bruce Wayans is supposed to win, right? Or Mr. Beast is supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, don't matter. And we get out there,
It's a
and
show.
then you twist your knee 30 seconds in. All
Mm.
right, well you losing now. Ain't nothing personal. And the fans will never know the difference between a scripted loss and a real loss.
Mm-hmm.
Just like boxing, if somebody gets paid to throw a match type
Right.
stuff, it's the same gimmick. The idea behind it is you fight to win, and regardless of what was supposed to happen,
Right.
we as the athletes don't have a clue what's going to happen once we get out there. So we just go out there and go with the flow for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But um, I stay clear of the politics because when you work harder than everybody,
Right.
the proof's in the pudding,
Mm.
and people notice. They know who's working. They know who's really out here grinding, and they don't know who's out here pretending.
I like the way you said that. Let's go, before we wrap up, let's go to your partner. You mentioned tag team. Why did you pick your partner?
Oh,
How did you
Atiba.
pick him?
Man, let me tell you about the Rocky Mountain Dragon, man. I met this dude when I was 19. Okay, his name is Atiba Obika, real name.
Okay.
And Atiba, as soon as I met him, I said, you know what, this kid is like the future of pro wrestling. Like this
Wow.
guy, he had all the tools, all the talent, and he's a kid. He's a pup.
Right.
And so Chopper City 1997, that is our Instagram page. Best part about that is Atiba was not even born in 1997. Atiba was born in 1998. He wasn't
Wow.
even around.
Wow.
But as soon as I met Atiba and my other boy Lipto, I just knew I had a good crew. I had a good crew to start with,
Mm-hmm.
and like all three of us are successful in this business as we speak. And I couldn't ask for a better group of friends to be doing this with.
And you know what? I like the way you said that. It's a business. I think we had Marquise um, Alton on the show, and he said the same thing as it related to football. I say the same thing as it relates to bodybuilding, basketball. At the end of the day, it's a business, and the owners are going to put the people that they believe in front of the camera and representing you. My hat's off to you. Seriously, congratulations. The company found the person that can represent them. You're definitely doing a good job with it. You picked your followers. The tag team with. I'm proud of you. I think you're doing a great job out there.
Appreciate you, brother.
Now, before we wrap up, we got to pick a date. We'll do that off camera. That I got to come there and wrestle you. But How can the
Hey,
viewers
yeah, come on, get some ice on your knees. Come on out here.
How can the viewers reach out to you to follow you and guest appearances and whole 9 yards? How can they reach out to you?
Oh man, check it out. All you need to do is you need to type in Bruce Wayans, Wayans. You can put it on your Google, put it on your Facebook, put it on Instagram, TikTok, X. Most importantly, you look up Rocky Mountain Pro. You look up CWC, Colorado Wrestling Connection. And you can go on YouTube right now and watch me beat up people if you want to. All right. When you look up Bruce Wayans, you're gonna see this face. You're gonna see these glasses. You're gonna see these guns.
Oh shit.
And you're gonna see Funk Boss on Mr. Beast podcast.
You know what, Bruce? Thank you so much for taking time out to come on the show. You guys make sure you follow, support, and like. Like I said with every show, all it takes is a click to have somebody change your life or to meet a friend. Bruce, definitely gonna have you come back on the show again. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show.